With marriage stories, courtroom dramas, and noirish mysteries, this week's selection of sales has a little something for everybody.
To kick off this week's Capcom sale, we've got a game of truly monstrous proportions. It's Monster Hunter World, now 25% off. The title really does tell you everything that this game is about. There's a world full of monsters, and it's your job to hunt them. The bigger the beast you slay, the more you'll be able to upgrade your equipment, allowing you to go after even more formidable creatures like this. Okay, maybe not, but it could happen in this game, and that's what's important. But that description really doesn't do justice to the sheer scope of this game and the incredible amount of variety it contains. The world itself is a vast ecosystem filled with all kinds of weird and wonderful creatures, meaning you're constantly discovering something new while you work your way up the food chain. Do so on the Xbox Series X, by the way, and your journey will be even smoother thanks to the tidy 60 FPS frame rate. And did we mention there's a weapon you can get that's basically a great big musical hammer? Because there is totally a weapon you can get that's basically a great big musical hammer. Nice.
If you prefer to defeat your enemies through infallible logic and witty retorts, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy is also 50% off. This collection brings together all three of the original Phoenix Wright games and gives them a tidy visual remastering into the bargain to keep the titular lawyer looking as sharp as his hair. Each one of these visual novels takes you through a series of cases, from the initial investigation to the trial itself, where you get to present evidence, cross-examine witnesses, and most importantly, yell "objection" at the appropriate moments, and inappropriate ones too. Really, how could you not like a game that moves between devastating crime stories and hilarious circus puns as skillfully as Phoenix Wright does? I rest my case.
Look up any list of the greatest games of all time and you are likely to find Okami on it somewhere. And yes, it really is that good. This epic third-person adventure sees you playing as the sun god Amaterasu on a mission to vanquish the dark forces that have spread across her land and restore them to their former beauty. Fortunately, she has just the tool for the job, a celestial paintbrush that allows the player to freeze the screen and doodle on it to magical effect. Aw, things looking a little dim? Well, draw a sun up in the sky and watch them brighten up. Need to blow your enemies away? Scribble in a gust of wind and send them flying. And of course, you've also got a good old-fashioned power slash for when you need to cut straight to the point. With its unique ink brush painting inspired visuals, Okami was already a stunning looking game, and the HD remaster makes bringing the colour back to its world more satisfying than ever. Best of all, this classic title is now half price.
80s classic Ghosts and Goblins has been resurrected, and you'd have to say that it's looking mighty fine, all things considered, with a lush new hand-drawn art style that brings out every ghoulish detail. This classic side-scroller series has a reputation for being hard as nails, and longtime fans will be happy to find that Resurrected has been crafted to provide a similarly stern test of a gamer's chainmail. Each level quickly sees poor Arthur swarmed by ghosts, goblins, and all sorts of other gothic nuisances, requiring split-second timing and rapid reflexes to make it through alive. Fail to do so, and you'll be greeted by the side of the polka dot pants that haunt so many players' nightmares. Fortunately, the new game also offers a variety of difficulty settings for those who want to give the valiant knight a slightly easier run. Whether you're looking to flex the gaming muscles you've been building since the 80s, or you're just looking to enjoy it as a beautifully painted storybook, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection is now 33% off.
Moving on from the Capcom sale now, and we've got a 2021 title so covered in awards that they'll probably have to build a whole new shelf just to fit them all. It Takes Two, which will probably give Cody and May something else to fight about. In this co-op exclusive platformer, our dynamic duo find themselves fighting for their marriage and their lives after they get magically transformed into a pair of dolls. To get back into their human bodies, they'll need to embark on their very own Toy Story, making their way through the family home while vengeful hoovers, militarized squirrels, and all sorts of other oddly anthropomorphic critters try to take them down. As well as being available on Xbox Game Pass, It Takes Two is now 60% off, and they'll even throw in a friend pass so that one of your online buddies can play it along with you.
With its vibrant, toony graphics and tongue-in-cheek humor, Immortals Phoenix Rising offers a riff on Greek mythology that's not quite like any version we've seen before. It even has a completely new spelling of the word phoenix. The game's version of ancient Greece is particularly enchanting. From Aphrodite's flourishing fields to Ares' scorched earth, every part of the game's expansive open world is bursting with personality, especially if you're playing in 4K 60 on the Xbox Series X. But as much as you'd like to spend the whole time swooping around on a pair of Icarus wings and taking in the sights, there's a lot of work to be done in Immortals Phoenix Rising. The gods are feuding again, the titans are grumbling, and generally, things are as hectic as they always seem to be in ancient Greece. So pop on your sandals, pick out your finest toga, and get ready to embark on your very own odyssey. And with the game now a massive 55% off, this deal is no Greek tragedy either. And for UK viewers, if you want to experience this gorgeous title in 4K, the Microsoft Store has certified, refurbished, like new Xbox Series X consoles back in stock, with packages including cables and a controller starting at just $419.99. Either visit the Microsoft Store or click on the link in the pinned comment down below to get the best next-gen experience out there.
Next, we've got a pair of mind-melting noir mysteries, starting with Genesis Noir, which is now 40% off. Playing as a trench coat-wearing detective right out of a Raymond Chandler novel, you'll point-and-click your way through the genre's usual selection of smoky club rooms, steamy romances, and violent outbursts. But then you'll keep pointing and keep clicking all the way to the end of time and back to the Big Bang again, scouring the entirety of the cosmos with your magnifying glass in an attempt to solve the mystery of life itself. And also to repair a watch. If all that sounds a bit too heady, just know that Genesis Noir is a detective game with a dazzling monochrome art style and a smooth jazz soundtrack that you're sure to enjoy, even if you think none of it makes a lick of sense. Now's the perfect time to give yourself over to its hypnotic powers too, with 3 new levels recently added in a free update.
Disco Elysium is also 40% off, and while it's not quite as cosmically strange as Genesis Noir, it is still very, very weird. Solving a murder is pretty tricky at the best of times, but doing so when you have absolutely no memory of who you are is even tougher. On the other hand, it means that Disco Elysium's amnesic protagonists can be however you want them to be. You can take the straight and narrow path and do things by the book, or go around harassing people while wearing nothing but a fedora. Using dialogue trees and skill checks, you could play your character as a brutal nihilist, an egomaniac, a timid wallflower, or anything in between. Whatever path you choose to take through its rainy streets and dank back alleys, every part of Disco Elysium is grimly gorgeous, especially in the final cut on Xbox Series X, where you can wade through its fetid underworld in 4K, even if this is a world you don't particularly want to see up close. Zooming in at the back of the pack is Hot Wheels Unleashed with the Ultimate Stunt Edition, now 40% off. This is another one that's sure to take you back to your childhood, with its meticulously recreated toy cars, whether they're in the pristine condition you find them in to the scratched up mess you'll bring to the finish line. Each vehicle looks astonishingly realistic. But fortunately, that realism doesn't extend to the tracks you'll be racing them on, with a custom mode that lets you click together all sorts of head-spinning loop-de-loops and wicked hairpin turns. Between the stunning visuals, the wild tracks, and that nice, healthy dollop of nostalgia, there are few games more likely to slap a big, childish grin across your face than Hot Wheels Unleashed. And now you can nab it with 40% wiped off.
Whether you're looking for a cult classic like Okami or recent hit like It Takes Two, this week's sale has a little bit of everything. Let us know what you'll be picking up down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell before you go. Bye!